I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls my whole life. I collect everything from porcelain to cloth, American Girl, neonates, and real care dolls. But my favorite is to collect and make Reborn dolls. There's Chloe, Grace, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, Zoe, Haley, Landon, Maisie, and Joshua. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hi guys, so I'm here to change Zoe, and let's see, I'm gonna change her into, even though summer's sort of coming to an end, it's still kind of warm out. It's not like super duper warm or anything. It is a little cooler today, but I want to try this cute little troll dress on her. It's from Build-A-Bear. So I'm gonna try that on her. And I am going to chat about a tag, another tag that's been going around. And it's basically about when people say mean things about our dolls in our collection. And these can even be comments that are from people in the actual hobby, which is kind of sad in itself, that people in the hobby feel the need to be cruel to one another. And I believe this tag originated on Kelly Girl's channel. But basically, you know, she was talking about how, you know, sometimes people will make comments about Monroe, who is her Claire Taylor silicone doll. And just say like, oh, I don't know why you would have got rid of your Romy Stridham doll and kept like this Claire Taylor one. I like the Romy Stridham one better, and this one is, I don't like it, or whatever. And it's like, look at guys, we all have our own tastes in this hobby, and that's what is so nice about it, because there's no real right or wrong way to collect. Everyone has their own preferences. Everyone has their own way of enjoying this hobby. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab a water wipe here, and they're all, sometimes I can't figure out like where you pull the wipe up from. And now it's like all bunched up here. Yeah, so it's really frustrating to hear that this is going on with other collectors, putting other collectors' dolls down. Because here's the deal, guys. Like I said, the fun part of this hobby is there are so many sculpts, and everyone has their own tastes in artists, in sculpts, in skin tones, in rooted hair or painted hair or whatever. We all have our own preferences, and that's okay. You know, we don't all have to like the same thing. And she's got her little preemie cloth diaper on. I'm going to leave that on. Yeah, guys, like, you know, basically what I've always been taught in my life, and I really think somewhere along the way, I think maybe since the internet and the fact that people can hide behind a screen. Wow, this is tight to get over her head. They feel like they can give an opinion on anything and everything. But I think we really need to get back to the golden rule of treat others as you would like to be treated. And on top of that, the whole thing was, I was always told, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Okay, guys, like, just don't say anything. I mean, seriously, like, Would you tell, I just don't know, like, would you tell someone to their face, like, someone gets a new hairstyle, like, you know, your family member or friend, and you see them, and would you seriously just, like, say right to their face, oh my God, I hate your new hairstyle? No. You would, you know, like, it's called, it is sort of like fibbing, but it's just being nice. It's like, don't say anything mean. You know, like, I've seen plenty of dolls on YouTube that are not my cup of tea, but I would never, ever dream of saying that to a person, because if you can tell that they're completely smitten and in love with that baby, then that's all that matters, is if they love the doll and they are happy with that doll. That's what matters, guys. Your opinion doesn't matter because you're not the one collecting that doll. You're not that collector. You don't get a say at what babies they can or can't have in their collection. You do you and let them do them. And I just don't understand why that seems to be such a hard concept to understand these days. Live and let live. And, you know, I've had people tell me that Zoe does not look real. She's not realistic. And I have even discussed that myself, that yes, I don't believe she is like an ultra realistic reborn, because she's a preemie size and she's definitely not reborn as a preemie. Because a preemie, as far as I know, I don't think I've ever seen preemies with this much hair. But for me, I feel like she's more of a miniature representation of an older baby. Or she's like a representation of a little person. Which is why she was named Zoe, because a lot of people said she looked like Zoe from The Little Couple. And I don't really watch that show, but I went and looked it up, and Zoe is a little person in real life. So yeah, guys, like, I don't know. I mean, she may not be ultra realistic, but to me, she's a beautiful baby. I absolutely adore Kate Charles's painting. Her skin tones are ultra realistic. And I absolutely love Zoe. I love her, and I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm keeping her because I absolutely love her. And she was not a cheap doll. I really saved up for her, and it was special because instead of having her shipped to me, Kate hand-delivered her to me while I was at the Rose Doll Show, and she is just beautiful. I also know someone recently said they didn't think Jeremy looked realistic either. And I will have to agree at this point. No, compared to my other reborns, he is not very realistic looking. But at the time that I got him many years ago, like I got him in 2013, at that time he was realistic to me because I didn't have higher quality dolls in my collection at that point. So for me, I was like completely in love and smitten with him at the time and thought he was super realistic and super adorable. And my taste has changed. But again, it kind of stung. Like, even though I personally do feel like they're correct, but it's one of those comments that it's like, just keep it to yourself. Because if a person really does like that doll in their collection or love that doll in their collection, then that's going to hurt their feelings. You know, like, I've had friends, online as well as offline friends in the doll community who get a reborn doll that I don't particularly care for. You know, I may not like, I may like the sculpt, but I may not like the interpretation that Reborn artist did of that sculpt. But I can see that my friend is completely in love with that doll. And so that's her taste. She loves that doll. And so that's all that really matters to me, is that my friend really loves that doll. And so, you know, I may not stand there and go, oh yes, your baby is like gorgeous or whatever, but I will congratulate them on their new baby. And I will, you know, say if she's cute or he's cute or whichever, you know, and support them. And, you know, like, this is what we do. And it just seems like manners have gone out the window in the last couple of years. I really am finding that, that people feel like they can say anything to anyone, and with like no real thought into how that's going to make another person feel. And it's really sad to see that this is the state of our world right now. Like, this is, I mean, there's so much crap going on in the world, but I mean, like, it's just sad that, you know, people, like I said, like the old golden rules have seemed to have gone out the window with a lot of people these days. And I think we really need to get back to that. Love thy neighbor, you know, I mean, just, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I will say, like, you know, I've had friends that have seen like a Reborn for sale that they seem to really like it. They seem to really like the doll. And then, but then they'll turn to me and another friend and they will ask us our opinion of the doll. And they say they like to get our opinion because we're artists, and so we may be able to like notice things. But I always feel uncomfortable giving my opinion because I don't want, like, if it's a doll or a sculpt or whatever, excuse me, that is not my cup of tea, but I know my friend really likes that doll. Like, I don't want to say, well, it's not my cup of tea, because I don't want to influence their decision. Like, I don't want them to not get that doll because I've said something negative about it. You know what I mean? So you know, what I always generally will say is, you know, I can give you my honest opinion, but if you, like, the end game is, you know, do you love this doll? And if you love that doll, then that's all that matters. And that's generally what I will tell my friend, because I'm like, we may have a different taste on this doll, but ultimately it's your doll, your money, and it will be in your collection. So you need to look at the doll, and if you really, really love it, then go ahead and add it to your collection. Don't base it off of other people's opinions of it, because at the end of the day, we don't live with you. We're not going to see the doll on a daily basis. It's you that has to have that in your collection, and you have to be happy with your decision, if that makes any sense. So I get uncomfortable when friends will ask me that, like if we're at doll shows and they'll be like, oh, what do you think of this doll over here? I'm really thinking of getting it. I like it. What do you think of it? And if it's not my cup of tea, I'm kind of like, I don't want to say anything, because I could tell already that my friend loves this doll. And it's like, if you love it, then get it. Don't worry what other people think of your doll. You know, like, it's your money to spend. And so it's ultimately always going to be your decision on whether you want to spend that money. You just have to be happy with your own collection, because that's really what, guys, that's what we're in this hobby for, is we collect for us, for each of ourselves. We collect the babies for us. We need to be happy with whatever babies are in our collection. And if there's a certain baby in our collection that we're not feeling anymore, and there's a new one tugging at our heartstrings, and we have to sell that one that's not really jiving with us anymore to get that new one that we're in love with, then that's what we got to do, because it's each of our own collections. And like I said, there's really no right or wrong way in collecting. Whether you role play, don't role play, whether you just display your dolls, or you just dress them, or you just cuddle them occasionally, whether you take them out in public or not, it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong way to collect. And that's what we have to like realize. It's whatever works for you is what you need to do for yourself. So anyways, I don't want to make this video super long, and I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say on the subject, is just, you know, don't worry about other people's opinions, but then also those that do have opinions. If you don't have any nice opinions on the person's doll, and you can clearly see that person loves the doll, then just don't say anything. You know, if it's a box opening and your taste is not with that doll, that's fine. You either have the choice to not post a comment and move on, or you could just say congratulations and just be supportive that way, and just say congratulations on your new baby and your new collection and move on. You know, let's just start being kinder to each other, like especially each other on the internet. Like, you only know this person through videos. You don't know them in their personal day-to-day life and how they are as a person outside of their videos. You may make assumptions off of a person in like a 10 to 15 minute video, but you don't really know that person outside of it. And so you're just essentially sitting there and insulting a stranger for no reason. And it's just, I don't know, I just feel like the internet and social media is a good and a bad thing. It's good in terms of like keeping in touch with people, doing research, having creative outlets such as making videos and that. An avenue to make some sort of an income with videos or with reborning and selling your works of art online. But there's such a big, in my opinion, a big downside to it as well, with all the internet bullying that's going on in the world and the trolls and like, it's just, yes, there's always been bullying even before the internet, but I feel like it's been taken up 100 notches ever since the internet has come into our lives. And it's like, now it's like fair game for anyone. And I can guarantee you that a lot of the haters and trolls, the things that they say to people online, they would never say those things to that person's face in public. I guarantee it, because I guarantee they're cowards. And so they hide behind their computer screen and say all their nasty things to people, because they're just like, they're cowards, and they probably are sad with their own life, so they feel like they need to take it out on other people. That's kind of how I feel with it. Like, they have nothing better to do with their life, and they are sad in their life for whatever reason, or they have anger and they just like decide, I'm just gonna go on the internet and just attack random people and feel like a big person, but they're not. They're a small person hiding behind a screen. They would never go up to someone in just, you know, they would never go up to some random person at the mall and say this stuff to their face. Guarantee it. So like the internet, I don't know. And I've recently read a lot of studies and listened to a lot of studies that say, you know, the internet has caused a spike in depression and anxiety because with social media especially, like people are now like comparing themselves to others and they're like seeing, you know, oh, so and so's like done this awesome thing and gone to this awesome place and blah, blah, and this and this. Oh, I don't have any of that. Or, oh, so and so is really beautiful. I wish I was beautiful like that. And then you feel like crap about yourself. And so it can be a really unhealthy place if you don't know how to properly balance it in your life. Yeah, it does definitely affect us in that way. So we have to be careful and we have to monitor ourselves and check in with ourselves and make sure like, okay, maybe I need to take a step back from social media for a while. You know, just shut off my phone and like go and do something else. Like, this is the world we live in, guys. But like I said, there's good and bad that comes from it. But we just need to learn how to just love one another. You don't have to agree with each other. You don't have to like the same thing as the other person. You can agree to disagree and still be supportive of each other. All right, guys. Well, I think Zoe's pretty well ready here. Her hair was a little crazy, so I tried to brush it down, but she looks cute in this troll dress. It's a little short, but it didn't come with any bloomers, but her cloth diaper is like a light pink, so it just looks like little bloomers to me. So I'm going to leave that, and these barefoot sandals don't really match the dress, but I'm going to leave them on anyway. Alright guys, well thanks so much for watching this video, and feel free to chime in on the subject as well. And we'll see you next time. Bye guys.